It's time for Comments with Coach Cook, our weekly visit with Nebraska volleyball head coach John Cook. I'm Jason Jorgensen. The Huskers just continued to roll along, coming off that big road trip out on the West Coast, and Cook says they're glad to have that one behind them.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Love the Pacific Northwest. The sun was out, so that was good, and we found a way to have success. So it's we'll take it.
That looked like quite the atmosphere in Washington with almost 10,000 fans there. What was that like?
Well, we broke an attendance record at Oregon. They had the biggest crowd ever, attendance record at Washington, and then before that, Northwestern. So we're drawing fans wherever we go, and I guess that's one of the good things about the Vandy. I heard people can't get tickets to the Vandy, so they flew to Oregon.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But it speaks to where things are at right now. Yep.
And so it's fun, and it makes for a great environment for volleyball, and our teams handle these big crowds really well.
How about the way they handled the trip? It looked like in both matches you were pretty focused and played some good volleyball.
Well, those are good teams, so we were, had to, and being on the road kind of unites the team a little bit when you're on the road that long. So, I thought we just played great as a team and had, everybody was engaged and all in. And, we're going to go all that far. You might as well try to have some success.
Absolutely. Signing day this week looks like another great class for you. What's kind of your thoughts on this bunch that you've been able to put together?
Well, what I've learned over the years, on paper and rankings really don't mean anything, until they show up here and play. But all of these players have played at a really high level, whether it's high school or with the USA programs or their club programs. They've all had lots of success. I think our fans are going to love this class just as people and personalities and competitors. I'm super fired up on this class. They are I think, a special group.
One of the big members of this class is Lincoln's Carrie Leinbach, and I'm sure you have to be just so thrilled to get a player of that caliber out of Lincoln and keep a local kid home.
Yeah, what we love about Carrie is, she's not the biggest, most talentedest player, but she's got a big heart, and she competes her butt off. And obviously she's, had just won four state championships in a row at Lincoln Lutheran. But more importantly, both her parents are teachers. She's, grew up in Lincoln, and it's hard. We haven't had many players from Lincoln in this program, so it's pretty special for a family and for our program to have somebody from Lincoln being a part of our team.
And now maybe eventually down the line, she's got a chance to continue that great tradition for you, that position.
Well, I hope so. She's going to have a lot of competition, but she's not afraid of that.
How has recruiting changed with transfers in the portal? I mean, kind of explain to people, how do you try to manage this now with the roster size, knowing that, there's free agency after this is all over with?
Yeah, you got to remember when we were, recruiting these guys, starting watching them way back as ninth graders, the portal really wasn't a thing then. And now, of course, the portal is a big thing, but it's going to be, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. You still want to have freshmen coming in to build culture. So you don't, like you look at SMU, they're having a great year. They got a great team, but they're going to lose 7 starters. So now what happens next year? So we want to be great every year. And I think you have to do it with freshmen and develop them. And they're the ones that help drive and build your culture.
I'm sure, though, you have to save a couple spots back, don't you?
Well, with the new revenue sharing coming in, the roster spots now go up to 8. We can carry 18 if we want. Okay. And we've never have carried 18, or I think we did one time. I said we're never doing that again. So there's some flexibility in there to recruit players based on need, And if we don't need somebody, we're not going to go in the portal. But if there's a need because somebody leaves or something happens, then that's what's a good thing about the portal.
All right, Minnesota's in town tonight. Top 25 team. Gophers have been good for a while. What's kind of your scout on the Gophers in this one?
They're good. They beat Texas and Wisconsin. That's all you need to know.
And they got a tremendous middle blocker there in Phoebe Awolaya.
Yeah, well, they've got a lot of good players. But, yeah, she's leading the conference in blocks right now. So, yeah, it's going to be another Big Ten test, late night. So everybody in western Nebraska, you guys better stay up.
Well, on Scotts Bluff, they're an hour behind, Coach. So that's a 7 o'clock start for them.
I know. Well, yeah, 7 o'clock. Well, it's still earlier than what we were doing on the West Coast. So
yeah, I was going to ask you that. What time did you get home on Sunday? How did that work after the late match at Washington?
We ended up spending the night Saturday night and then flew back Sunday morning. So we got back in Lincoln about round 1.
Well, I'm sure it's just felt great the last couple of days actually be in Lincoln preparing for a match.
Yeah. It feels a little bit more like we're back in our routine, but it's the new life in the Big Ten now, so it's everybody's going to have to do it.
Well, Coach, as always, we appreciate the time and good luck.
All right, thanks.
That was Nebraska volleyball head coach John Cook. The Huskers aim for their 22nd win in a row tonight at home as they take on 16th-ranked Minnesota. For comments with Coach Cook, I'm Jason Jorgensen.